decisions, and you made the good decisions by being here today, and your names is listed on the roll. So on that day, I will send you an email, or during that week, I'll send you an email with that wonderful information that will support your success in your test. So Saeed, I have your email address. I will send it to you too.
Yeah.
So that'd be.
And the other woman that was here, she's supposed to do a link sending.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I couldn't be able to do it because I was already signed in.
Oh, okay. Okay, for
Career opportunity.
your career, okay.
I don't know what to do now.
All right. Let's just check what's happening at campus. Anyone going to the career fair today? Nope. I think it's always good just to check things out. So even if you have no intention to apply for anything today, I think it'll be good to check to see what it's like, just in case you wanna go to the next one. You'll have an idea of how it is, how it happens. And it's free. It's good entertainment if nothing else. Okay, so if anybody is waiting for your grades, paper, assignments to be graded, guess what? I was on spring break too. So I will get those done shortly. You have approximately 3 weeks and your course is completed. All your classes are completed, 3 weeks. Okay, so if you count the third week is the end of classes. The fourth week is your exam. So think about it that way, but I think I got that a little wrong. Let me just check.
Was there a class on spring break?
No, there was no class last week, so you were fine. You didn't miss anything. 1, 2. Yes, exactly 3 weeks, and that's it. The third week is your exam week, okay? So this class, you have 2 more classes, and then that's it for you all. Remember that, be mindful that if anyone is having any challenges in any class, and you're not making the grade that you want to, and you don't think that you would be able to boost up your grades by the end, you have an option to do the best you can and finish, or you can withdraw by March the 3rd, which is a long time they give you to withdraw, but you still can withdraw by March the 3rd. So if you're basically, as you're entering into your finals, and you know that even with your final exam, you won't pass your course, you have the option to withdraw. You withdraw, it has a lesser impact on your GPA and also on your financial aid. So just have that in mind. I encourage you, you have 3 weeks to finish strong, do the best you can, so that your time would not be wasted.
To withdraw from what for? What happens when you do that? What happens when you withdraw?
You said when or what?
What happens when you withdraw?
When you withdraw, then you won't receive an F or a D. So you won't have a grade, so it won't impact your GPA at all. But you will have to retake that class to finish your course.
Okay.
So that's the benefits of withdrawing, to keep your GPA.
How?
All right, let's see what is happening on your compass. It's on the attendance sheet, so that we would know that you were here. Okay, well, I don't have my password again. And then after you sign it, you have to tell us something good. Yep.
Do you have a pen?
Someone has a pen. Anybody come to school with writing utensils? Who does that? 0, 0. Oh, what is that? Here you go.
Thank you.
Tell us something good.
Um, something good. It looks like everybody's working. I don't want to bother. I can't think of anything.
We had a new car, somebody got a new car, somebody slept, someone enjoyed the sun, someone can almost do a drop squat of 400 pounds. I mean,
Wow, everybody doing it pretty good. I mean, I got hired at this new club, so maybe that's good.
maybe did you apply to get hired?
I mean, I just walked in, and they just hired me, so that was
Wow.
weird.
You walked in and got hired at the club, wow, that is interesting. So you said it might be good, so it might be good.
I don't know yet.
And it might be something you need to run away from.
I know, right?
Ask them, I don't know. I walked somewhere and they said, hey, I want you to work for me now. I said, what am I doing? And what do you pay? But anyway, let's see what's happening in your neighborhood, in your campus. There's a career fair going on today. We encourage everyone to be a part of it. It goes into 2 p.m., so you have time. Even if there's something that you don't want to do at this time, you can at least take advantage of getting the information. Let's check out the shareables and see if there's anything here that you would like to see that I can share with you. If there's any information here you would like to know more about, let me know. If anyone is into gardening, you want an Easter basket without candy, just flowers? Or if you want to give some flowers to someone you want to appreciate them. If you need to survive finals, here's an event for students. Surviving finals. Relax and recharge. Now this would be good. Drop in to play a game, do a craft, get a snack, meet some friends, and more. Drop it anytime. So that's going on right now, I believe, because it doesn't have a date on there. It doesn't have a end date. Okay, Wednesday, April 30th, so next week. You can drop in anytime during the day on Wednesday. Have some fun, relax, meet some people, and recharge for the finals. So just think about that. Remember, they have a massage chair, so you can take a number and get in line to relax. So if there's anything else here that anyone see, poetry night, anybody interested in doing poetry? You look like a poet. Julian, are you a poet? See, I knew it. Let's look at it. You can do your poems, sign up next week, Thursday, in the library, and you just go to the library and get more information about it. You can attend it, or you could be a part of it. So think about that, people. Enjoy your campus. Anything else anyone sees that you want to know more about? Easter baskets. Oh, that's from today. So if you want an Easter basket, a floral arrangement today, April 17th. Where is that? Outside the student lounge, okay? I might stop over there to look at those arrangements. And the end. All right, so with your lessons for this week, what is due by the end of this week, I believe is test 2. I don't know why test 2 is so close to the final. I don't know why the course puts it that way. Yep, test 2 is due by the end of this week. So test 2 is chapters 4 through 9. So it's not the current chapter that we are in. Just think about that. Make sure that you get all your assignments completed, everybody. There's no reason to accept a 0 in anything. So make sure you do your best to do that. Now we're going to do an interactive activity on making decisions, making good decisions. So, I'd like everyone to participate in this activity. So this is a free writing, but we're not writing, we're talking, free talking. Imagine one of these scenarios, 1, 2, 3, or 4. What decisions would you make and why? Well, we want you to talk about your decision-making process. You can either choose A, 1, how can you make room in your schedule to take one more course next term than you're taking this term? So if you would like to add another course, these are just hypothetical. What would you do? What decisions would you make? Number 2, how can you get from the 3rd floor to the 20th floor of a building? What decisions would you make? Doesn't have to be realistic. Just make a decision. Number 3, what if you suspect that one of your instructors is in space alien? What decisions would you make? Or number 4, what would happen if humans' average lifespan were extended to 125 years? What decision would you make? So, Angela, now which one of these would you like to talk about freely? And share your decision-making process with us?
Pick a question, is that what you said?
Yeah, pick one of those that you talk about and express your decision-making process. Which one?
2.
Okay. You're on the 3rd floor. You need to get to the 20th floor. What would you do? If you can do anything, what would you do? You would fly. So what would you do? You just jump out, you open the window and just go like that? How would you do it?
Yeah.
You gotta tell this, you gotta tell your decisions. You gotta break it down.
I find the nearest window and fly from the window to the 20th floor window.
Okay, she would fly. Yes, Julian, what decision would you make?
For which question?
Anyone. Anyone, and any answer is possible. We just want you to talk about your decision-making process. What would you do?
You know what? If humans' average lifespan extended to 125 years,
What would you do?
I probably, okay, hear me out, right? Hear me out. I'd probably take up a hobby that's so oddly specific, it makes people feel inadequate.
Okay,
Like, playing the violin, because not a lot of people can play the violin. I feel like 125 years is enough time.
to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way of thinking. All right, Leah. Tell us.
To each.
I would do nothing.
Okay. I am not an alien. Go ahead.
If my tutor was an alien, first thing I'm asking is why you come to Earth?
I'm saying.
Like all the planets you got out there, why Earth?
So what decision did you make? You'll confront them?
I'm taking me to space with you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no.
She's out. All right, peace. We off Earth. Okay.
Actually, no, better question. Why did you come to Earth and why did you come to the US?
Oh.
Of all places.
Of all places. And Georgia.
You have a lot of questions, okay? You were sitting down and interrogating them, okay? All right. Saeed,
What?
which number would you talk about?
What would happen if humans' average lifespan were extended to 125 years?
Mm-hmm. So what would you do? What decisions would you make?
Study harder.
Okay. Anything particular that you'll study?
Notes and words. You memorize them way many times until you learn them real well, and
Okay.
then you get real good at it.
You'll be very knowledgeable, very informed. Okay, and more time
I
to,
had a question about the 125 years.
uh-huh.
So, we live here for 125 years. Are we staying younger longer? Or are we just gonna be old longer? Cause I don't wanna be a granny for like 100 something years.
So what would you do if you were a granny for 100 years?
What is there too? I can't move.
Well, some grannies are moving.
Okay,
Well,
they can move,
on.
but they move slow.
Okay.
No, just,
Some grannies. Now see, you make the next class, if I remember, I'm gonna show you some grannies that's not moving slow at 100. I had showed some videos on centennials and their hundreds doing, participating in senior Olympics, participating, doing gymnastics. One was still doing flips at 80, 90 years old.
In the US,
She said in the US.
they don't do that in the US.
There's
Yeah, no, they don't
some,
do
there's
it.
some grannies, and they have a granny football league, soccer football. They're over 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, playing soccer, serious about it.
Yeah, this can't be the US.
No, that one is not in the US for sure.
it's Brazil, isn't it?
That one is Africa.
Actually, no, that checks out too.
Yeah,
That checks out.
and, there was another one I saw, oh, this one is the US. They were two couples, they were in an assisted living home, they got married, 100, and she was like 90 something. He was like 101, and she was 90 something, they were dating, courting, and they got married. So, they obviously know some things. They're not just grannies for life, so something to think about.
But they have assistants.
They have assistants.
The outside for assisted living.
What would you do? You might have assistants, I mean, you might just be fine. See, at 120, I will look just like this. Look even better, my hair is gonna be longer, flowing, skin, more beautiful. Wait, when I get to 120, just watch. When you see me at 120, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so she's really thinking about this one. All right, yes, ma'am. Which question would you choose?
Number 4.
All right, tell us.
I feel like I need to experience working.
You get to experience more. Anything particular? Okay, good experience. Okay, so like, what, you're going to school for now, what?
Radiology.
So by turn 100, what you do? Yes, right, definitely a doctor. Okay, and, yes, ma'am. Okay,
There's basically one random 125, but I want to answer it like verbatim.
okay,
And it says, what would happen if humans' average lifespan were extended to 125 years? What I think would actually happen, I think that like, there would be probably more like genetically modified foods, and they would probably kill you off just for population control, like way before 125 years. So I don't really think anybody would actually probably live to that extent. I think they would probably do something to do like mass genocide before you could even get to that age. So that's what I think would actually happen.
wow,
And-
we all wanna start praying.
Because I think that people are getting like, people are having babies like sooner and sooner. So many people are always pregnant, and so many people in this world, so they would have to do something, because there's not enough like chicken and cows and all
I
that.
know what I think they would do.
What?
The purge. Purge babies.
I know, right? That's why they made
They
it.
wouldn't go.
They were trying to prepare us for that movie.
Okay, so the next one,
And then,
number, you said 2 and 3?
no, 3 and 4.
3 and 4, okay, number 3.
If my instructor was a space alien, I kind of think everybody, well, not everybody, but a certain select group of people are like reptilians. But I don't know if anybody knows what that means. But I would probably say nothing. I don't want them to know that I'm not. I would probably just like secretly tell my mom about it or something and just keep it to myself. Like, I'd probably like try to relate to them. Like, I'm a reptilian too, even if it's not true. I'd probably just try to relate to them. So they aren't reptilians, like they kind of, they're like a alien race, like draconian, what's it called? I don't know.
Are you talking about the Hollow Earth theory, the draconian
Yeah.
guys?
You know what, this assignment helps us to see the importance of, media. You know, all of you all, some of you are relating things to television, it's movies you've seen, serve your minds and your imagination, so media is very powerful. Okay, and yes, sir, you're home. We are participating in this activity, and this is about decision making, making good decisions. So based on one of these options here, which one would you choose, and what decision would you make?
I think number 4.
Before?
Yes.
Okay, so what would happen?
I never, see that somebody they can live for 125 years, but somebody this very rare, and they're like, if they can, live along by that, they will make it along the big family and the community is very big, and maybe it's gonna be like the people can make the around. It's like, I don't know, like how the big.
You don't know how they're gonna make it that long.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
The family is gonna be
Yeah.
really big and
Yeah.
expanded. That's true. Now, this topic about 125, my pastor's either mother or the father, one of them, their grandparent lived till like 118, 19. And they were intact. So they weren't, in a wheelchair or anything. They're in Africa, walking around, doing everything, greeting people at the market, shopping, doing things. So, and there are people that are recorded to live like 120, 121 now. I think that we have that on record. It's not normally in America though. It's normally like in Africa or in Asia that there's somebody living that long. So it's very possible. Me, I'll be there. But this lesson was to help you to think about making decision making. Everyone made decisions based on maybe movies, knowledge, understanding, information, or imagination. Yes,
What was the question for? Average span were extended to 125 years?
yes.
How do you pronounce that question again?
Well, that was a hypothetical question, okay? What would happen if humans' average lifespan was extended to 125?
Repeat that again?
Okay, I'll put it back. If you can you see it?
Yes.
Even though it's faint, okay. I'll leave that up for him for a few minutes. But this is in your textbook, in your ABA lesson. This is a part of your textbook. Now,
Got it.
decision making, you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We make decisions for many different reasons. And the reasons you make your decision oftentimes determine the outcome of the decision that you made. Now, for many of you, like I said, we made a decision to come to class today after spring break. How many of you all actually had to make a decision to come to class? Like, you were in between, I'm coming, I'm not coming. How many people? 1, 2. Everybody else like, I'm gonna be in class, all right. So for you two who was like, I'm coming, I'm not coming, and even home came a little late, said, I'm coming to class, I'll be there. You all automatically would at least get an 80 on your test if you just took what I gave you. So that's my little tip. Won't say anything else. Everything, 10% more you have to do it yourself, all right, to get that A. But anyway, those who chose not to come to class, sorry y'all, but hopefully they will study hard. That doesn't mean don't study, okay? So you have to study so you can get the other answers, so you can get your A. But anyway, that was good decision making. And this lesson is to help to reinforce what is necessary, which is for us the ability to make good decisions. Now, sometimes we make decisions for the wrong reasons. What is one reason many people make decisions? Based off of what? Somebody tell me. Many people make decisions based off of their, finish the sentence.
Anger.
Anger, but anger is part of your what?
Emotion.
Emotion. Who has made a decision from their emotion and like, why did I do that? Do I have any witnesses here? You're like, why did I do that? All right, Julian, you raise your hand fast. What'd you do? Tell us one that you can share, that you don't mind sharing. that afterwards you
So
were like,
allegedly,
allegedly,
right?
okay, possibly,
I might have thrown a heavy object at someone in the past. Allegedly.
uh-huh,
Allegedly.
okay,
I'm a pacifist.
okay, and that was out of an emotional moment, okay. So, that is the truth, though, it happens like that. Anybody else? Who can share a time you made a decision based on your emotions that you realized later, I should not have made that decision? Who would like, yes?
I actually wrote about this recently for, like an English class I have here. When I was like younger, I wrote, cause I love writing, and I had an essay I needed to write. And, it was just a basic topic, and I put too much of my personal information in it. And then my teacher got the paper and she said, oh, we're having a ceremony here, and it's like, everybody's gonna put their writing pieces in, and I wanna put yours. And everybody kind of read it, even my mom, and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't want everyone to know that. But I was really sad about it. So when the topic came, like, something had just happened, and maybe the day before. And I put all this personal stuff in there, and I was like, oh my God, why did I say that?
Oh, wow. Wow, how old were you?
Like 14 or 15.
Maybe the teacher should have asked you, do you feel comfortable with your writing being a part of it, since it was personal?
Yeah, but me and her were like really close. She was like ghetto, I'm ghetto, so we just kind of was connecting. So she was like, when I came to class, she was like, girl, I'm putting your paper up there. And I was like, what paper? She was like, the last one you wrote, I already put it. I was like,
Oh, wow. Well, that is life. Sometimes that is something that is a good lesson to learn right there. Number one, don't make a decision when you're angry. You're angry, you might just do anything for that moment. And the consequences of that could have various effects. One thing about life, you can choose your decision, but you cannot choose the consequences of that decision all the time, or the outcome all the time. You might think you did something, and that one thing might cause this, but that one thing that caused this can cause a whole lot of different things unrelated that you didn't anticipate. So the only thing you can choose is your choice. I'm choosing to do this, and you pray that that choice today that you're making at this time is good, because you will look forward to better outcomes. Whether that was a good or bad decision, you wrote about it, you felt better about it, you didn't anticipate it being shared publicly, right? What was our last class about? Whatever's in written, don't write down things you don't want people to. That's a good lesson. So you have to protect yourself. Even when I'm sharing, as a teacher, professor over the years, I'm very transparent, but then at the same time, I had to learn not to share a lot of details, because other people that are involved, it can affect them. So I don't share things. So even when I talk about my past being in foster care, I share it in a way that anybody that's listening, or even the people involved, they themselves won't be affected by what I'm sharing. Because life has changed. All right, anybody, one more person, anybody else made a decision and did something out of emotions? Who would like to share? Everybody has. So, yes, Leah, tell us. Because you're smiling at me. You're smiling at me. I'll go to the second row. The next question I'll ask them. I won't look at none of you all in the last row. I'm asking these rows at the front, okay? So tell us something. Tell us. What decision you made out of your emotions?
So basically, when I was younger, I had did some stuff, right? And I had to go to court for it, and then I was good. I was like in middle school.
So when you did the stuff, it was out of your emotions at that moment. Yeah, and see, you already learned from her example, don't share your personal business in details. See, you learned it self-corrected. That happens. So one thing I want to say is that the decisions that we made, they can have various effects later in life. So the lesson that we had last about not putting things in print or in writing, because later in life comes, and it may come back to you or against you in a negative way. So you don't want to make decisions out of your emotions. You want to think about things. When you're making decisions, You're choosing amongst or deciding amongst various alternatives. There's an alternative.
Process.
There's an alternative. We're gonna use the basic decision to come to class today. The alternative, stay in the bed. Alternatives, stay at home, work at home, do your work, be more productive, save gas, save time, fine, go in. There are alternatives. Some people that chose not to come to class today, for whatever reason they chose, when it's time for them to take their test, they may struggle more than they needed to because they're not present, they didn't know, okay? There are alternatives. See, they didn't know that this would be the outcome, that's life. You don't know what the outcome would be. You just wake up, make right decisions, hopefully that you make them, and you never know how the outcome will benefit you, and to what level of degree. Of course, coming to class will help a person to be more attentive, focused, and help one to stay on the path of making sure that they get their goal, which is their degree. Coming to class regularly helps you do that. But you wouldn't have known that, hey, if I showed up today, out of all the days I showed up, showing up today would give me this advantage. You wouldn't have known that. So that's how life is. You want to make sure that you're making good decisions, period. Make it good when somebody's watching, when nobody's watching. Make good decisions because it's good to make. You need to be clear. That's why you don't make decisions out of emotions, because there's a lack of clarity. When you were in your feelings, I'm feeling this, happy, sad, or mad. Even excited is a feeling, is emotion. You're hyper. Because someone is so happy, they want to do this, they celebrating big, they give away their money, they're kissing everybody, whatever. Just because you're so happy. That's emotions. But when you're able to think clearly, you have clarity, you'll make a better decision and make the right decision oftentimes. Now, there are decisions that are precise and accurate. You need precision and accuracy when you are making decisions. There are very few times when a person can really say, I don't know what to do. When a person is in that place, I do not know what to do. Has anybody been there? Like life just happened, like I don't know what to do. Anybody? Okay, I can't ask you all. Have you been in a situation where you're like, I don't know what to do? What did you do? What did you do when you didn't know what to do? What did you do? You asked for help. Now, you asked for help. Then what happened? And then? Okay, because you did what? You asked for it, and then you also, see, some people ask for help, but they don't do the next part, which is to do what? Follow out the advice. Okay? Many people ask for help, but they're stuck on their mindset, their reasoning. So when someone talks to you, advises you, you're in your mind, you're like, nope, nope, not true, nope, nope, not doing this, nope, I'm not doing it. And you don't get solution, and you don't have to get the support you needed. So there is a way out, precision, accuracy. Now, once you find your plan, you have the information you need to be consistent, consistently making the right decisions. If you make a decision to go forward, to do this today, and then you decide to do some random stuff that takes you backwards, you can see that in life you're not moving forward. If you're making a decision, okay, I'm going to class today, I will be on time today. What happens in the next class? I'm just staying in bed, it's over, I'm done, finished. Then they say, okay, I'm going again. And they say, I'm just done. I'm quitting school, I'm dropping out. No, be consistent. Fix your emotions. You know, have your feelings, have your emotions, but recognize, these are my emotions, these are my feelings. Now, when you're making good decisions, you need to know how to make decisions that's not based on, that are impartial and that are fair, okay? An example, a professor, when they have classes, it's very possible that a professor can have a favoritism for certain students. Anybody here is a sibling? How many people are an only child? If you're an only child? Okay, only child. So you are your parents' favorite, okay? Anybody else? You have siblings. How many have at least 3 siblings? 3. How many people have more than 3 siblings? How many siblings do you have?
Well, I have it on my mom and my dad's side.
Okay, so how
On my
many,
dad's side, it's about 5 of us, and my mom's side is 3.
okay, how many siblings, Saeed?
3 sisters and 1 brother-in-law.
Okay, 3 and 4, okay. So, out of all your siblings, somebody is the favorite, and it may not be you. That's life. Can you live with that? Can you live with the fact that your mother or your father might like your brother or your sister more than you? That is life. That's human nature. I don't think it exists, but it truly exists. Doesn't mean that they don't love you. No. It just means that something about the personality, the characteristics, whatever reason. Could be the last child, could be the first child. This person could be so dependable, that makes you like them more. This person might be so talkative and engaging, you like that personality more. This person might be so sweet, that sweet child, they might like that person more. It's just nature. When you have your children, when you have more than 2, you're gonna learn what I just said. Are you gonna like this child or this one more? But it doesn't matter. You have to make a decision that is impartial, that is fair. So just because a parent might like this child for whatever liking sense, doesn't mean they love them more. You treat everybody with fairness and you are impartial. Now, as a professor and instructor, just like your teacher, using that as an example based on what you said, if she favorites you in the class and didn't favor the other class, our students as much, so when it's time for testing or support or whatever, she got you. She makes sure you get all the support. She makes sure you're ahead. And everybody else, what about everybody else? She may not give them that attention or that help that is needed. That's being partial. That's not being fair. So when you're making a decision about anything in life, always determine not to be partial. Practice impartiality. Practice fairness. Okay? And that should be your way of life. You may have professors, you may have co-workers, you may have people that you like because they appear to be more likable. So when I talked about your siblings or whatever, if somebody is likable, that's just mean that's their characteristics. I have 4 children. I've liked some more than others throughout their lives. I really like this one. And right now I'm like, you know what? I'm praying for you. This one, I love you. In the name of the Lord. I like this. Oh, look at this one. I have one of my children's name is Favor. His name is Favor, that's his name. And out of all of the children, these are all grown adults. He was the one that did the most, absolutely the most. That's all I would say. But then he'll start smiling and he'll talk to you. Everybody favors him. That's just his character and his nature. Okay, so it's not even based on what he does or doesn't do. His nature, his character makes people just like him. He's just likable like that. So whenever you're at home and you're like, well, my mom and dad like this person, that person, they just might have more likable features or qualities. It has nothing to do with you. They love you. You're loved, okay? Hug yourself. I love you, okay? Ask your mom, do you love me? Daddy, do you love me? Okay, but anyway, we went personal. We went to a talk show. No talk show here. All right. All right, so when you're making good decisions, you need to think about your long-term goal or your short-term goal. What is it that you need to achieve? That's what's most important. So make decisions based on what will help you to reach your goal in the end. One thing about life is that you have to remember that everybody's emergency is not your emergency. What do? You have a friend or a family that needs your help. They might need your money, or they might need your time. I think we talked about that before. Maybe not, maybe another class. They might need your help, or they might need they might need your time, or they might need your money. Okay, to do something. What do? Make a good decision. Do you help them? If helping them would help them, okay, you can decide to help them. But if helping them would help them to ask you for help again, or if helping them would help them to do more wrong things, you have to think about things. You have to think things clearly, not out of your feelings, not out of your emotions. Okay? Look at your short-term goal and your long-term goal. What is it that I need to accomplish? If helping them, would it hinder me from accomplishing the goals that I have to accomplish? Would it just delay me a bit? Would it affect my life greatly if I help them and not accomplish what I need to accomplish? The decision to change schools, or to get this career, or to get this job while I'm in school right now, would it help me to reach my long-term goal? if I take this job and get more hours, will I have to drop out of school? Will I have to take less classes? So we always have to make decisions. Think about your goals.
Can you go back, ma'am? I couldn't finish the.
And Saeed, I'm gonna show you where this is in your lesson.
Okay.
This PowerPoint is actually in your lesson. So what I can
Okay.
do, if you give me a few minutes after class, Saeed, I will send the PowerPoint to you.
Okay.
All right, so if there's something
Okay,
you
now
don't
you-
get all of it, I will send it to you, okay?
Understood.
All right, so when you're thinking about the alternatives, this is important. Determine the possible outcomes of each. What would happen if I do this? If I do this, what would happen? Okay, so one of our last assignments we're gonna do because of time is what if. We're gonna come up with some what if scenarios. All right, so front row, give me a scenario. Angie, give us a scenario.
Car accident.
Oh, Lord Jesus, all right. What if, who was in the accident? The student, the person, the family, or the friend, or who's actually in the accident? Okay, what if your friend called you, they're in a car accident? Where was the accident? Is it in your city, your state, out of the country, what?
In-state.
Okay, your friend called you, and it will never happen. None of your friends will be safe, in Jesus' name. Your friend called you, I was just in a car accident. And they call you. What would you do?
Call 911.
You call 911, what else?
And then like, you know, try like walk around the car, come to him.
You would go see them, okay? Okay, and you stay with them.
Yes.
What if you had class when they called you?
I
What if
would
you had to
tell-
work when they called you?
I would tell my boss.
You tell your boss,
If my friend have accident or something, and then I go.
you gotta go. Okay, good. All right, that's what you would do. Now, what would be the outcome of each? Okay, so home, you went to see your friend, you was with your friend from the accident. What would be the outcome? How would that affect you and your friend relationship?
That's good.
To make it better,
Yeah,
right?
that's better.
You did not come to work today. What do you work? What type of work do you do?
I'm just have my, you know, my uncle. my
Those
brother, you know,
outcomes.
Okay, your uncle had so many customers today, and you couldn't come to work, so he lost some of the business. So what would happen? What's the outcome of you not showing up that day?
Actually, you know, he gave, you know, what
He will
was,
understand.
yeah.
He's understanding. He's a good, real person, okay? You did not come to class, and it was the exam,
You're right.
and you missed your exam.
Yes.
What are the outcomes? What would you do? As a hard one, what do you do?
I call him my friend.
You help your friend.
Yes.
So what about your exam that you missed?
I call, I will email for the teacher and
You just
explain
communicate.
something.
Yeah, yeah. There's always an outcome. But the thing about it is that when something happens, we don't think about all of these outcomes. We don't think, we just decide, we just do, we react. We don't think and choose and plan. What's the probability? One more example. Yes. Yeah, really. Give us this, what if scenario.
It's not? No.
Give us a scenario. What if, hey, I like that. What if you won the lottery? Who wants to answer that one? Hey, Leah. What if you won the lottery today? You left class or you heard it on the radio and your number hit. What would you do? What is the amount? 500,000? Yeah, that's small, but okay. You got 500,000, you hit 500,000, what would you do?
I'm gonna invest in real estate, cause that's not enough for me to buy a house right now. So I'm gonna invest in real estate, and then I'm gonna get a car. Yeah, that's about it. House is too expensive.
Okay, so the outcome is that you're going to invest your money, you're gonna buy a car. Okay, what about your family? They're gonna say your name. Your whole family, everybody knows that you won the lottery. So what happens? What will be the outcome? You take your money and invest it all, buy your car, invest it into real estate. What will be the outcomes concerning your relationships that knew that you won the lottery?
Honestly, I got a tight circle, so So if you're not in that circle and you're asking for money, you're not getting the money
So they ask you for money, they'll get some money,
if they're in a tight circle.
if they're in that tight circle. So how about, I mean, do you have like a limit of how much money you'll give them?
Depends how much I get left over, but my grandparents, they get a couple thousand. My mom, she'll get like a few thousand. My aunt, she'll get a few thousand. That's about it.
Okay, we're not in the circle, what is all class? Where you people? Okay, so what will happen is that, so people who are thinking that they're like your class, oh, I thought we were tight, we was in that circle. What could be the outcome of those relationships?
See, it depends. If I just met you and we're not that close, we're not getting the money. But
Okay.
if we close and like we talk outside of class and we friends, maybe you get some money.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that, the outcome is that some of those relationships that you have, they might just end. Because people might be offended, or thinking that you were supposed to do this for them.
But if you think about it, you give people money and then you ask them for something, they not gonna give it back, probably won't give it back.
I understand, but I want you, we're just talking about, I'm not taking your money, okay? We're just not about me. We're good. Okay, it's about the outcome. The thing is that, for this lesson today, when you go home today, because we're gonna end it like now, the thing is this. In every decision, there's outcomes, there's possibilities, there are so many things that can happen. You want to make sure that, number one, make the right decision based on the right information. Where is it? This is not making the decision, but anyway. This one is close. When you're doing critical thinking, you know, it's all related to the same thing. Make a decision based on the right information. Do not make decisions based on opinion, make decisions based on facts, what is true. Think about trying to think and reason when you're making a decision, and to ensure that you even consider the outcomes. Never live life that you just do something, no matter how, whatever the emergency is, whatever the issue is, settle yourself, and think about it, and decide to do, and don't react. Reaction can have consequences that can last you for the rest of your life. A reaction. Responding can have consequences that are more favorable, that can better your life. So make good decisions, don't react, respond, don't make decisions out of your emotions, think things clearly, think things through, and base it on information, facts, and not opinions. Don't jump to conclusions, because learning changes everything. Go out there and make good decisions. Have a wonderful day.